How self-pity is robbing you of your relationships. This is a particularly important video for those of you in actual relationships and those of you who are dating. And I will see you right after this. Welcome back to the Black Swan Relationship Academy. My name is Chengi, and you, my precious one, are my world. I am the founder of the Black Swan Relationship Academy, your dating and relationship expert, and your auntie, sister, whatever you need me to be so that you can win in the game of love. Today, I want to talk about the way self-pity is this insidious, demonic toxin that we so happily live with and don't understand the cost to our relationships. I'm gonna hope to keep this video short, but if not, what can I say? So moving forward, let us understand, I have a lot of conversations with a lot of you ladies, and especially those of you who are married or in long-term relationships. This feeling, and of course those of us who are going through a breakup, it's very natural during a breakup to really feel sorry for ourselves. But a lot of us believe that we learned to feel sorry for ourselves within the relationships. But actually we have used it was an adaptation pattern in childhood. I want to tell you a story about a little girl called Sally, because stories are a great way to communicate what I'm trying to say. Little Sally came from a home that was fairly decent. Nobody had a happy childhood, but many of us have had happiness in childhood. For little Sally, you know, she was taken care of, she was loved, her parents were quite busy, or one of them was a little bit distracted, or one of them was a little bit removed, or whatever. But Sally, she grew up not feeling really seen, really heard, really understood. Maybe she had to be a part of, enmeshed in this family and become an extension of her parents or her siblings. And so she felt like she wasn't really seen unless she was blending in. And so little Sally is 4 years old and she goes off to preschool and she's with her friends. What happens to little Sally is that she falls over and scrapes her knee, and she gets up and she's crying. Oh, it's so painful. Her knee hurts. And guess what? The teachers all come running. They pick Sally up. Oh, Sally, you hurt yourself, and let's clean you up, darling. The teachers give them a cuddle, and the other little friends, they hold her hand to the nurses clinic in the school, the nurse's office, and they all go together, and she sees that they see her finally. It's about Sally. And whilst her knee aches and hurts so badly, she's aware that she's getting all of this attention. She gets into the nurse's office, and the nurse, oh, Sally, what happened to your knee, you poor thing? Sally might even get a bit of a lollipop, and Sally doesn't have to go straight to class when everybody else goes to class. Sally gets to sit down and enjoy, the attention of an adult, a grown-up for a change. Oh, are you okay, Sally? Do you feel better, Sally? Would you like some water, Sally? Oh, Sally, poor Sally. And of course, when Sally feels better, she limps back into the classroom, and all her little friends are like, Sally, are you okay? You can sit next to me, Sally. All of a sudden, she's got new friends. Everybody wants to sit around Sally. They're sharing their lunch with Sally. Oh, Sally used to be lost in the queue, but Sally can go first because she hurt her knee. So Sally realizes, I can have a need met, a very important need, to be seen, to have attention, to be somebody if I am hurt, if I get hurt. And so Sally is spoiled, and all of a sudden Sally starts to be normal and better, and her knee scabs and she can go to school. And now she's still loved and people still care about Sally, but oh boy, did she enjoy that moment when she got all of that attention. Maybe for you were not the kid in the playground. Maybe at home, you only got seen and heard when something was wrong, when you scraped your knee or when you had a tummy ache. You said, my tummy hurts, and all of a sudden you became visible to your father, to your mother, to your siblings, only when something was going wrong. You didn't realize this, but your brain developed within your superego this knowledge. If we want attention, then we always have to hurt ourselves or feel sorry for ourselves. Eventually, you grow up and you think, I don't really want to be scraping my knee all the time, and having a tummy ache can be a bit costly. I actually want to feel good. So what do? You create a narrative in your head where everything is always poor Sally. You become the girl who, when everybody says good morning, Sally never really ever has a good morning. Sally's mornings are always traumatic. Sally had a hard time waking up this morning, and Sally had a fight with her boyfriend, and Sally's husband is so mean to her and she doesn't even know if she should stay. And Sally always has a sob story about all the bad things that happened to her. It just seems like Sally always has a bad life. It's bad and nothing is ever good for Sally. She pays therapists, she goes to coaches, and no one can help Sally. She can't be helped. She's completely above being helped because she's so broken on the inside that no one can help her. And whenever Sally comes in with a sob story, everybody rallies. Oh, Sally, life is going to be better. How are you doing, Sally? At work, in the corridor, people give Sally attention. They give her attention. And so Sally developed this ability or this skill or this broken way of connecting with other human beings. What Sally doesn't know is that now she is no longer the lovely little girl in the playground that used to run around and smile and laugh and fall and get up. She's no longer a pleasant person to be around. She's actually dreadful. We all know Sally. We all work with Sally. Sally is the woman that comes to work and the dark cloud follows her everywhere she goes. I used to have a friend who was like Sally in a friendship group, and we would have to take turns. Did you call her? No, I'm not doing it this time, because when I called her, I had to sit through 2 hours of, and you know, she's that person that when everybody mentioned her name, the whole room would be like, and we would then debate on who's going to take turns to call her, because right now I just don't have the energy. But she didn't know that she was Sally, because guess what? She's built her whole life on being poor me. She therefore doesn't know how to connect and relate to other humans unless she is using self-pity or sob stories to connect, to open people's hearts to her. At first, people always do because it's the first time she shared and they think it's vulnerability. They don't realize this is how she seeks to connect with other humans. I used to be a Sally for a very short space of time until somebody called me out on it and said, you have an attitude of self-pity. I was horrified. They said it so matter-of-factly that I was somebody who liked to feel sorry for myself. You see, I was raised in a family of 7, and for the most part, I didn't even know that I was that way, that I felt invisible. And the only time I was visible to my parents or to my mom is when I was hurting or sick. All of a sudden, I was seen. And so I used this adaptation through all of my relationships, not realizing that people don't like a Debbie Downer. Nobody really wants to hang around somebody who always has something that's not working, who feels that they're so broken that they can't be fixed. Guys you want don't want you. And the ones you don't want simply won't leave you alone. They say you are picky and have impossible standards. Your partner has lost attraction for you and you have no idea if he will stay or progress the relationship. The harder you try, the further he pulls away. You are starting to think you are cursed, that there's something fundamentally wrong with you. The truth is, you are not uniquely broken. You are simply ill-informed, uneducated, and ill-equipped. All the things that can be fixed. I am offering you an all-access pass into the Black Swan Nation, where you will receive access to all of the courses, mentoring and coaching calls. We are also offering a 100% no quibble money back guarantee if the academy isn't a fit for you. What are you waiting for? Get smart, be educated, and level up. Do it absolutely right now by clicking the link below. We want light in our lives. We want light. We want people around us who bring more light. We have our own personal darkness to deal with. We have our personal judge, our personal critic, our own personal battles that go on the inside of us. And the last thing we need is another person who wants us to help them fight their internal battle to no avail. Because we all know that when a person is drowning in self-pity, they can never be helped. This is a trap that a lot of women in marriages and relationships fall in, like I said earlier. They fall into making themselves their husband's victim, their partner's victim. They don't want to leave the marriage even though it's toxic and brutal, because actually what they're seeking for is fodder. It is food for the self-pity engine that they have been running for the rest of their lives. Staying with a man that beats them. Now, don't get me wrong. I know all about abusive relationships. I've been in my fair share, and I have stayed in very toxic relationships, and it's because I didn't know better. What I'm helping you understand is that this relationship has a trade-off. I remember listening to Dr. Phil once many years ago, and he says we stay in things because there's a trade-off. There is something that we are getting from this interaction, and that's why we stay in it. And some of us stay in toxic relationships. Some of us keep and perpetuate this cycle of toxicity in our lives because we need to feed the self-pity engine. We need to be the girl with the husband problem, with the relationship problem, with the toxic boyfriend, because it gives us a place in the world. When our girlfriends are all together, when we're at work, it gives us a place in the world. Poor old me, married to abusive Adam or whatever it is. The other thing that this self-pity demon does for us is that many of us use this as a protocol when we're dating. We share our traumas with a guy that we've just met. Or if we're smart enough not to do that, because yes, I used to do it. I used to go on a date and start sharing all my traumas because I wanted to connect. That's how I thought you connect, by showing your scars and your wounds, because I was used to self-pity protocols. If I felt sorry for myself, then of course I would tell a sob story, and then you would feel sorry for me and then connect with me on a deep emotional level. But all you would do is have ammunition against me, and all you would do is have a reason to run out the door at 100 miles an hour. And maybe we don't do that, but when we get into the relationship, we're the girl that calls our guy always moaning and complaining. Never does your boyfriend or your husband or your partner call you and you had a wonderful day and you did great things. Every single time he says, "How was your day?" it's Debbie Downer time. It's self-pity Sally time. "Oh, I've got this colleague." And some of us genuinely believe that we're connecting. We genuinely believe that we're connecting to this man. But no, honey, you're not connecting. You are destroying your relationship. You are giving this man regret for choosing you. Nobody wants to be with a Debbie Downer. Nobody wants to be with somebody who has never got anything amazing to say. When you live with self-pity, it is so insidious. It makes itself such a part of you. It makes it so rational that it's very difficult for you to distance it. And I know for some of you, you're going to be triggered. So what do you mean? That I can't be honest in my relationship? I can't share that I've had a bad day? I am talking about balance. I am talking about you choosing to find what is great and right and share it. Why not be the light in the room for a change? Why not be the one everybody looks forward to seeing when you walk into the room? I remember when I was in high school, I would get into class and I would say, "Smile, Chengi's here." And then everybody would kind of frown and because they obviously had to not smile because I was there. It became a thing. And so on the day that I walked in and I didn't say, "Smile, Chengi's here," it was rare, and they would know that maybe she's having a bad day. And then I would get the connection and the attention in a healthy way. But mainly, your disposition should be light. We should seek to be light, not just for other people, but for ourselves. Because many of us are drowning in the liquid of our own self-pity. Some of us are literally gagging. Our souls, our deep inner self is gagging for some air because we won't quit on feeling sorry for ourselves. Like I said, there is a reason you feel sorry for yourself. You feel sorry for yourself because it's an adaptation. It's the way that you learned to connect with other people. Being the girl with the sob story. Being the girl who has had life be so unfair. And really, it makes people move away from you. It makes people not want to be with you. And it makes your partner miserable as hell. Many men have left their marriages because their wives are a dark cloud. I have clients who are men who are like, living with her is like living in a dark cloud where you do nothing but walk on eggshells. You have become the darkness in your family. You have become the shadow of your relationship. And you don't know why he doesn't want to be here anymore because you think, "I didn't cheat. I do all the things a wife should do," but you're not sunshine. Your soul is asking you to be sunshine. Your family is asking you to be sunshine. Am I telling you pretend to be happy when you're not? No. But if you genuinely cannot find joy from within, and nothing in the world can bring you a smile, then you need to go for therapy. You need to hire a professional and work on these wounds. There are so many people that can help you work through the trauma and give you tools, better tools to show up in the world and to get what you really are craving, which is connection. It's okay to want to connect. You're just going about it in a way that is destroying you and your relationships. You're becoming dreadful. You're becoming difficult to be around, and you don't understand why men always leave, why your relationship just keeps going from bad to worse. You have to understand that in this world, we have to learn to be healthy humans. We need to reach out for the help. You can call any of the coaches in the Black Swan Relationship Academy and they can help you, hold your hand, teach you, show you how to be more attuned to the light side of you, to the happier side of you, and how to process those dark emotions and those dark feelings. We're never ever going to be all light, joy, and happiness. Some of us have that as an adaptation. We're always cheerful and cheery to a point of annoyance. Nobody wants to see us anymore, but that is an adaptation. That is something that you created to be seen and heard, and that worked for you for a season. Sometimes our coping mechanisms simply will not lead us to the happiness that we crave and deserve. They will not lead us to the happiness that we want. So if you are grumpy, I am not saying that you're not married to the wrong person or that you're not in the relationship with the wrong person, but I want you to check yourself. When have you ever been happy? What are you like around other people? Do you have extreme happiness when you're away from your partner? Are you all light and happiness until you get home? In general. Or is it just with him? Or is it with everybody? Because if it's with everyone, if you can pay attention to your conversations, to your thoughts, then maybe, Houston, we have a problem. I am not here to criticize you. I'm here to highlight problems so that we can reach out for the help that we need. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. But in the meantime, do take care of you. Love you lots. Bye.